I'm Robin Wallace, and I'm 30, going on 31, and I'm the founder and creative director of thriftyvintagechic.com.
So Robin, you're not 50. God knows you're 20. You're 50. But you did something that I think is very important for a lot of women, is you turned your life around and turned your passion into your career. Can you explain that to people? Because I think that's something that people at any age need, and the fact you did it at 30 is amazing.
Yes, I did, and there's a lot of considerations to have. I know a lot of people think, well, she's 30, she can do anything, but I am a single mother, so that's a big consideration for me. I support my son solely, so there was a lot of responsibility in the decision that I made. So I did, like many people, get laid off last summer, and right before then, probably about 6 to 9 months before then, I had started a blog, and which is Thrifty Vintage Chic, and it was part of who I am, just being able to express myself through my fashion, through my style, being able to write about it and give women and even men pointers on how to go shopping and how to put different looks together. And I did have the option for being able to get other jobs very quickly, but I kind of looked at that and said, well, would that really make me happy? Would that make me happy in the long run? The amount of time that I would need to pour into that, the time that I would spend away from my son, the money that I would get versus how happy that would make me, and then at somebody else's beck and call, and also mercy. I really was not happy with the idea that I could sacrifice blood, sweat, and tears and end up laid off in another couple of years or couple of months, or at a disadvantage for salary and vacation time and whatnot. That was not something I was interested in. So I decided to throw my hat over the fence and go chase it, and climb over the wall and go chase it for being able to start my own brand, start my own business. And at that point, I just put all my effort into it, and it's turned out quite wonderfully. And I couldn't imagine anything more, I don't know, more extraordinary than following my passions and doing all this. It's the culmination of all my dreams, really. So.
What was, I think for a lot of people, Robin, the first step is the hardest. So for you, you're a single mother, you're raising, what was the first big, I'm just diving in there, step that led after the blog, but what was the big step that got you the first job that, I met Robin on television in Philadelphia where she was doing a whole segment on morning television. So and that's just in a year, you've been on the Nate Berkus show. I mean, you really made this thing pop. So going from being a journalist to being a fashion stylist in that brief time, what was the big step?
The big step is owning who you are. The thing is that a lot of people would say, oh, you can't be a stylist, you have to intern and sub underneath this person and work for that. But the thing is, if you just know in your heart this is who you are and you've got the skills and the talents, throw yourself into the ring full-heartedly and you will be amazed to see what happens. The other thing I strongly believe in is the power of intention. And then also the other thing too is don't blindly follow your passions, really have a strategy behind it. So I wasn't sitting there being like, oh, I'm going to do my blog and I know it could be a business one day. No, I was really, really passionate and certain and aggressive into the strategy behind doing it. So growing my business and brand through social media and networking with as many people as I possibly could through Twitter and Facebook, and even starting Flickr accounts and YouTube and all that. All of that generates people and viewers and audience that I never could have imagined before. Even getting on Etsy as well, which is a site specifically for vintage sellers as well as artisans. So I think the thing is to go into it with a really strong game plan. You can't go into it wavering in your knees about whether or not this is going to turn out. In my mind, this was going to turn out. And for me, I already had a business structure that wasn't just for the next 6 months, but for the next 6 years as to where I could see this going, not just from quote-unquote a blog, but to a complete brand with all sorts of offshooting businesses and enterprises. And you have to dream big. I mean, if you're really putting your life into it, why not? Why stop and just play small? And we often do that as humans. We sell ourselves short, and particularly I think as women, when we get so involved with taking care of everybody else in our lives, our families and our husbands and our children and our siblings and our parents, you can't sell yourself short, because when you sell yourself short, you sell everybody else in your life short as well. So play big.
That's great advice. Well, thank you. Good luck. And we're going to be watching for you and all your further success.
Thank you so much, Tracy.